big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Yes, guys, what's happening? This is the United Forever podcast, and I just sounded like a right old twat. This is episode 29, The War on Plastics. I'm Sam Spanner, and I'm with my legendary cousin.
This is Cousin Adam. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Do you know what? When I've listened back to our podcast, there's always a bit of a weird lag at the start. It must be this, like... 2,000 mile difference between us and all the bloody methane as well.
Yeah, more than likely.
Separating us. Fucking hell. Dear, oh dear. Oh, so mate, how's it going? I bet you're all completely shagged out, right?
100%, mate. I'm proper, like, running on the bones of my ass at the moment. I'm so tired. Hence why we're about an hour and a half later than we normally are doing this. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
that's all right. I mean, actually, we've got a bank holiday, so I don't mind having a bit of a late night because
yeah,
there's some like national bank holiday over in Spain called the something about the Constitution, where they celebrate, you know, the end of fascism in the 70s and stuff, and then
okay.
you know, the Constitution. So anyway, talking about political stuff, I've called this the war on plastics because basically,
Yeah.
right. Do you remember a few weeks back we talked about the caviar syndrome?
Yes.
So how in the blessed days, you know, everyone was used to like amazing times, silverware, fantastic runs under Fergie.
Yeah.
And then anything that is half as good as that is just shite.
Yeah.
So the flans have progressively become more and more toxic.
Correct.
So when I say plastics, right? So if you go onto any sort of like fan channel and you're reading the debates, one of the most frequent insults from one sort of orientation to the other is you're a plastic.
Yeah.
So basically, right now, there is, I still believe, a vast majority of the fan base that backs Ollie.
Correct.
As we do, right?
Yes, I agree.
But when you got people that like all of a sudden just go like Ollie out.
Yeah.
So a natural reaction for the other half of the fan base, or the majority of the fan base, is to go plastic.
Yeah.
So I think, right, basically, there was this bloke, he knows who he is because he's a complete knobhead. He's a City fan. And anyway, he came out with this, right? So he basically came out and said, no, plastics are the ones who are glory hunters from the pre-Fergie era.
Yeah.
What he's trying to say is during the early Fergie era.
Yeah.
Who've never been to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So basically, right, I'm going to do this kind of weird comparison now. So basically, if you believe in God,
Yeah.
right, I'm not going to go all biblical, right? But if you believe in God,
yeah,
and you don't go to church, can you still be a good religious person?
Yes.
All right, so you say yeah. So, all right, I'm going to sort of narrow this down. So if you've never been to Old Trafford, but all right, let's talk about different circumstances.
Okay.
You live on a different continent.
Yep.
Can you still support Man United?
Yes.
If you come from the UK and you've maybe experienced some financial hardship during the 90s when the Conservatives fucked up everything.
Yep.
And maybe our parents were temporarily out at work or something.
Yep.
Or they were having to work double shifts, you know, to pay off the mortgage and all that.
Yep.
And we didn't go to Old Trafford. Could we still be United fans?
Yes.
Exactly. So I just think that was a really, really lame argument. So basically...
Well, it would be a lame argument because he's a City fan. So, you know, it's a lame argument because
exactly.
He's thick as shit, mate, but it's what it is.
Yeah, that's the one. Mate, he's just like full-on solid constipated log. Fucking Yule log, mate.
Yep.
So... No, I just think that it's a really stupid thing. I mean, you've got people. talking about football in general, football is just an amazing sport, you know?
Yep.
It's a poor man's sport. As we were talking about in the last episode, down the Hythe, you've got all the local lads,
Yep.
40 kids aside, kicking a bag full of stuff with newspaper, you know,
Yep.
from the chip shop.
Yep.
Having a laugh, mate.
Definitely.
So if you aspire to big things, you sort of look for inspirational figures. In the early 90s, mate, I remember we used to love watching Ince, we used to love Cantona, we used
Yep.
to love watching Kanchelskis,
Yep.
Bruce, Robson. You know,
That's it.
we could just keep going on and on. Some of those turned out to be plonkers, but still, mate, you know,
Dion
we had
Dublin.
some beautiful times. Totally, mate. And talking about, you know, how, you know, we're members of the Stratford Paddock community and everything.
Yep.
Like I loved one of the conversations that Howson and McCullough had, right? So when they were doing a tour out in the Far East,
Yep.
they were just saying like how it really sort of woke them up and they realised how many United fans there were, how united they were as a community and everything.
Yep.
And it's just like a global religion. So I just think that bloke is an absolute twat, all right? So, all right. And another thing, right? You know our good old mate Joe Smith,
Yep.
the absolute legendary comedian from Stratford Paddock. So he said something that was amazing in the post-match review. This like came out last night.
Yep.
I thought, fucking hell. Right. So he said years ago, if a manager had sort of lost, say, 5 on the bounce,
Yep.
you know, the fan base would be disgruntled and they'd start calling for his head.
Yep.
Okay. Getting a little bit closer to the present. So if a manager, if a United manager now loses a match, we call him for his head. And then he goes on to say that the current cockroaches in the fan base are now calling for the manager's head. Well, we've only conceded 1 goal, and it's fucking half time.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. You know,
dear, oh dear.
it's just I can't quite work out.
Oh, fucking Ford Capri.
I can't quite work out exactly this level of toxicness. That even if I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm using it anyway.
Toxicity, mate.
Toxicity.
Do you not remember the System of a Down
Yes.
song? Eating seeds is a pastime activity. The toxicity of us. Sorry, mate, I'll shut up. Oh, dear.
Yeah, so
mate, I've done a wet one. Fucking hell. Pass me a baby wipe.
shit up your back. No,
Oh, fuck.
but yeah, so you know,
Oh, dear.
the
I'll tell you
level.
what's happened in a minute. No, you keep going, mate.
So to use your word, the level of toxicity, shall we go? It's just another level. You know,
There we go.
it's just full on like it's pure bullshit. Like, how can you go from? Because I could guarantee you, right, the ones that were calling for Ollie's head at half time yesterday, right, were sucking his knob off 3 games ago, you know, when we went on a bit of a run. I guarantee you they were like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden it didn't go quite right, and then they're calling for him to be sacked. It's like,
And they spat out the cum.
yeah, I just don't understand it. But then the perfect example is because you sent me a text saying, oh, that the toxics are out in force at half time, and then full time turns up.
Yeah.
We played a blinder in the second half, and you're basically like, yeah, they've crawled back under their rock again.
Mate, it's like that phobia of having a turd. It's like, shit, the turtle head's popping out. Do I let go? Actually, no, I'm going back inside for another week. So basically, the only cure for them is an enema. Right up the backside, relieve themselves,
Yep,
and that'll sort out their lives.
definitely.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you the reason why I did a wet one. fucking hell, right? So as it's, the season of goodwill and all that,
Yeah.
mate, I'm a bit pissed. Not like pissed off. I'm actually like tipsy because I've been drinking so much Sambuca lately.
Right.
And you're going to be thinking, what the fuck? I mean, you can go into any establishment now,
Yeah.
any shop, any fucking petrol station, and you can get a complimentary shot of Sambuca in this part of the world.
Brilliant.
Doesn't matter if you just filled up the tank and you get back behind the wheel and you drive off and you fucking crash your car. Merry Christmas to all the customers. You sure you don't want another shot at Sambuca before you put your cars in the fucking door? Fucking hell, mate.
Oh,
I've been drinking quite a bit. And then not only that, right? So the bars and restaurants are open again. So
yeah.
yesterday I had something that was a little bit controversial. I had pig's trotters with chips.
Oh, mate. You animal.
I know.
Oh.
Oh, fucking hell. It's actually quite tasty. I mean, Grandad used to eat the stuff a lot when he was,
Did you have to get the old
post-war
toothpick?
time.
Did you have to get the old toothpick in there?
Oh, do you know what? I mean, it was in this almond sauce that was quite tangy.
Yeah.
And it was very nice, but fucking hell, today, mate, the mixture of Sambuca and pig's trotters. You can only imagine the reaction.
I can.
Oh dear.
You know,
and just to like top things off, I've had half a pint of Bailey's for dinner this evening.
bloody hell. Going back to the pig trotters, right? Who in their right mind, right, has cut up a pig and thought, oh, those trotters look really nice. I'm going to fucking munch on them. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck knows.
It's like the
I reckon it's like post-war kind of stuff.
yeah, and it's like the age-old question of what the fuck were people thinking when they first milked a cow? What were they trying to achieve?
Sexual pleasure? I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? I don't understand.
I don't know. Right?
They're just going to go and abuse a cow.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, fucking hell. So, just leaving the old lactose for a minute.
Yep.
Stephen Howson, right?
Yep.
He has literally said that Ollie is the best manager since Fergie.
Yep.
Now, I back him, mate. I completely agree with him. I don't know what you think, mate.
Yeah, no, he's got a very, very raw deal. You know, he's had to deal with so much shite for a manager in such a high profile job. You know, he's had basically he's still getting rid of players. He's had issues with the board not buying people, and things like that. And then to top it off, he's then got fans on his back going, well, you know, we're not sitting first in the league. No, of course we're not going to be sitting first in the league at the moment. We're in the middle of a rebuilding project. It's not like going to happen overnight.
Well, talking about the rebuild, mate, let me just butt in a minute. In fact, I'm going to do a double butt in.
Yep.
Right. So one of the buttons is we're actually top of the table if you only consider the away matches this season.
Yep.
We've got 100% in away performances. Our home form needs to improve, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously, Liverpool have just won, Leicester have just won.
Yeah.
So we've got a game in hand. If we beat City next weekend, you know, never say never.
That's it.
You know, we'll be, again, just 2 points off the top.
Yep.
This time last year, mate, we were sitting at 15th.
Yep.
So, you know, we've definitely made progress. And also, Howson has pointed out, thank you very much, Mr. Howson, we've been the most consistent team. This sounds crazy, but we've been the most consistent team since February the start of February, and achieved the most points in the Premier League with 51.
Yep.
So, cheers, Steve. I mean, that's a great thing there, what you said.
I think what you were saying about the away form, definitely, there's no denying that. And I also feel that I think we can start. Well, actually, I'm not sure if that far north will allow fans in stadiums yet, but if we can have 2,000 fans in our stadium next week, or
Mate, that would be beautiful.
that will play in our favour, because what people have got to understand is the team's playing in Old Trafford, and that is a fucking massive stadium to have nobody in, and that's going to be a bit of a culture shock from
Yeah, I
when they were
know.
used to having 75,000 people singing and chanting and pushing the team along, and to then have nobody and probably hear himself. Well, you can hear whenever bloody Maguire drops a bollock, you could hear that up in the rafters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, mate.
So
No, I completely understand what you're saying. But the funny thing is, right? So going back to the influence of having fans in the stadium
yep,
can also work in the other way, right? So I'm going to troll West Ham a little bit here. So we beat them 3-1 yesterday. What a
yep,
fucking comeback! We are the comeback kings.
yep,
But they were saying how West Ham were fifth.
yep,
And they've been doing so well, but coincidentally, they didn't have any fans in the stadium.
yep.
Now they open the gates, 2,000 fans come in the stadium, and then they fuck up. So
Yeah,
that was brilliant, mate. I found that quite amusing, and it was just lovely to see, three of our graduates
yep,
getting all the goals yesterday. I thought that was lovely, especially your favourite player, Mason Greenwood, mate.
yep.
What a fucking goal that
That
was!
was.
Lovely pass from Tellez.
Yep. This is I'm having
Fucking
arguments again today on Facebook with some clever twat thought that
facial book.
he would say that I don't know what player he's looking at, but he claims Luke Shaw is a million times better than Tellers. So obviously I had to put him in his place. I was like, you know,
Right.
Shaw
Hold the phone, mate.
defend
This is what I think of him.
what
Sorry, mate. Another wet one.
defensively, potentially Shaw is slightly better than Tellers. I'm not going to deny that fact.
Yeah.
But I think with time, Tellez will improve. However, going forward, as a non-starter, as far as I'm concerned, Tellez beats Shaw
Yeah.
hands down in regards to attacking mentality. And the proof's in the pudding with some of the setups yesterday. Mason's goal was just on another level, mate, wasn't it?
RVP, mate.
Yep,
Robin Van Persie-esque.
yep,
What a lovely turn and what a beautiful finish with his left foot. That was just sex, mate. And what about our old, what was I going to say? Gary Neville. Did you hear? He was just not helping the situation. People are over exaggerating in the first half. So they were saying how shit we were in the first half.
yep,
I'm actually going to say this, right? We started off slow, but we weren't
yep,
that shy in the first 30 minutes. Then I've got to say, do you remember last season I was saying how Jared Bowen would be a very good acquisition from Hull because he was banging in goals in the Championship.
yep,
He's young,
yep,
he's homegrown. And I thought, Dan James is a little bit one-dimensional, but Jared Bowen, he offers quite a lot more. He's a tricky player to defend against.
yep,
And going down that right-hand side, he was wreaking havoc. Tellers was having a bit of a hard time.
yep.
And also he had a bit of a brain fart when we conceded the first goal. Also, Pogba stood on the edge of the 6-yard box, sort of like, I don't know what he was doing. I think he was thinking about what the next hair colour he was going to get before we play Leipzig.
Yeah.
But I mean, the two of them, they should have been more alert. But then sort of things went downhill. And I think Fergie, fucking hell, sorry, mate.
How the fuck are you?
I'm pissed and I don't give a shit.
Jesus.
Mate, I think when I was born, I was fucked. Sorry. Ollie, mate, pulled off a
Yeah.
masterstroke. You know, it was a big gamble, two substitutions, half time.
Yeah.
We love Baker Cake, but, you know, sometimes tactically you've got to change
I've
things
got a
up.
question.
Bring on your best player.
I've got a
Now,
question.
Bruno,
Now,
yeah.
with Van der Beek, were you slightly disappointed with his performance yesterday? Now, I personally was,
No,
but I
yeah.
then sat back and I thought to myself, right, okay, he's played a lot of games. He started a lot of games, should I say, in the last couple of weeks. So,
Hmm.
and I know he had an ankle injury as well. So I was like, I'm not going to be too harsh on the bloke, but
Yeah.
I would, I would openly say now that I was slightly disappointed with um, his performance yesterday, but there are reasons behind that. So, it's not as if he played badly and we lost. Do you know what I mean?
No. I think that, all right, listen, the first half, apart from Hendo, there was one other player who I thought was fucking world class. That was Spider Wan-Bissaka.
Yep.
What an amazing sort of run and that slide tackle. I mean, only he could pull that off in the world right now.
Yep.
But going back to old Baker Cake, I thought the combination with Pogba and McSauce didn't happen. It wasn't working. And also,
Yep.
I thought Pogba didn't help him out because there was a time when Van der Beek sprinted back, did a very good tackle, gave the ball to Pogba,
Yep.
and instead of letting Donny get his breath back and sort of regain composure,
Yep.
he passed the ball back to him
Yep.
when he had McSauce empty, and McSauce could have done a sensible pass either back to the Iceman behind him, or just
Yep.
squared it across to Spider Wan-Bissaka, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but it's easy to sort of blame Pogba for a lot of the stuff. But I mean, if he's supposed to be a star man in world football, I think that he buckles under pressure. And, you know, when he said a few seasons ago that he wants a new challenge, I'm sorry, mate, but he's not going to be 100% committed
No. Yeah.
to the shirt and to the match.
That's the problem. But
But when he's got, like, I'm going to say this is fucking mental now. When he's
yep.
got the best player in the world next to him,
Yep.
Bruno,
This is it.
and he does a simple pass,
Yep.
then you can see what Pogba's got in his locker, if you know what I mean.
This is
Sorry,
the
mate,
thing.
what were we going to say?
I think, in a way, um, we've had two long range goals out of Pogba in under a week, right? Both again coming in from the right hand side, and
Yeah.
I think,
Sorry, when was the other goal, mate?
um, did he score?
Did he?
Did he score against? Or am I half asleep still? He scored.
No, he blasted it over. Mate, you're thinking about against Brighton a while back when he took that free kick in it, and
No,
it went
I swear he scored.
hit the wall and then went in. Because I think it's only
When did?
no, if I remember correctly, he's only scored 2 goals in the last 45 or something. He scored a free kick. That was his last goal. And do you remember his eyes were popping out his face?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And we had a
That.
good
Yeah.
chuckle
Yeah.
about that.
Yes. Sorry. I'm still half asleep. Anyway, right. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm being a complete fucktard. I think
a fard.
the fact that he's able to score these long range shots, like
Yeah.
yesterday, and we spoke about would he go to Real Madrid? And you said no, Madrid wouldn't want him because he's not performing at the moment. But another few performances like
Yeah,
yesterday, I think Bruno is going to be able to put Pogba in a shop window. Do you see what I'm saying?
possibly. No, I mean, it's good marketing.
Yeah,
Very good marketing. Also, there's talks that now is the time to give Bruno a pay rise, because right now he's only getting paid what
yeah,
Lingardinho's or Blingard's getting
yeah.
paid.
I
So,
know. Yeah, it's crazy.
or basically something like a third of what Pogba's on. So,
Yeah,
yeah, he does deserve more,
yeah.
but I think we need to offload Pogba and reduce the wage bill a little bit. So, yeah, I'm really, really proud of the boys. Big, big decisions from Ollie. Rashford was a fucking beast, mate.
Yep.
I can see so many parallels with Kanchelskis. I've said this before. I loved Kanchelskis a lot.
Yeah,
I was disappointed when he left,
yeah.
but it did make sense because we had something better coming through.
This is it
But
exactly.
I thought actually that Kanchelskis could have been turned into a number 9.
Right. Okay.
But again, I was a little kid, really.
Yeah.
I would have been, 8 years old, 9 years old? I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, mate, we're getting old.
I know. That's it.
So we both turned 35 this week.
We did. Yes.
Bloody hell, mate.
Yeah. Drawing a pension out soon.
Oh, fuck me.
But
Yes.
what
So,
one thing I wanted to just make a point about, like up
yeah,
to the just before we conceded the first goal, we were giving West Ham
yeah,
far too much space again. We weren't pressing them enough, and it was fucking mind blowing, really. And again, I made a point on my notes that the defenders are not staying on their feet again. And the prime example yesterday was Maguire. He went in feet first again to try and save a shot, trying to close the player down
yeah,
while on his ass. It's like, no, stay on your feet, mate, and you will be and do your job that you're paid to
yeah.
do. And that kind of wound me up a bit. But then obviously Ollie had a
Oh, Ford Capri.
Ollie had a premonition, obviously, and swapped it around a little bit at half time, and the rest is history. But you know, quickly
Yeah,
switching it up a moment, McTominay was unlucky not to score yesterday. His movement
yeah. I thought
was good, and he was very unlucky not to score.
he's got a good, decent long shot on him.
Yep, but
Yeah, I mean, if the defender wasn't sort of putting him off,
yeah,
as the defender was sort of going down for the low block,
yeah,
I thought he would have definitely been able to sort of bend the ball a little bit better into the bottom corner.
definitely. And I think one thing we haven't mentioned yet, and I need to say, magic matter strikes again. What
And
what a through ball
yes, mate,
from Mata to Rashford, literally
mate,
straight through the middle, mate. You can't write this shit. Honestly, it was amazing.
that was
It
delicious.
was amazing. Honestly, it was just pure class. I know we've slated Mata so much in the past, but
We have,
and some people might say it's a bit unfair.
but we've also given him,
Yeah, we have given him.
but we've given him praise as well
We have.
when he deserves
We
it.
have, but
But we've also highlighted that. I mean, 15 goal contributions in his last 18 starts or something.
yes, something like that. Yep,
Fucking mental.
yep, it's crazy, and I think,
So he's still got.
yeah,
No, so I was saying he's still got jizz in his ball sack. So,
yeah, no,
and Bruno as well.
yeah,
What the fuck, Bruno, mate? 34 goal contribution in his 36 games in the United shirt is
yep,
absolutely sick. And yesterday he played 45 minutes, right?
yep,
and he broke the record for the Premier League this season. 8 big chances created in 45 minutes. That is mental. Playing half a match. So, mate, we've got a gem there.
Oh yeah,
absolute gem.
without a doubt. I think we're just people have just got to understand that he will bring out the best in others. And what else?
Defo.
What else were we talking about last night on the chat?
Hendo, mate.
Yeah, Dean Henderson.
Hendo.
Mate.
Hendo's my last big final point.
That was right. Whatever way you look at it, and I actually rewatched the highlights. That ball, unfortunately, did go off the pitch. That ball did go off the pitch, and it was off the pitch by quite some space. I would say a good 1.5 foot, 2 foot off the pitch. However, VAR doesn't run the line, so as far as I'm concerned,
no,
it was it was a play. What a clearance!
Yeah, but mate, I'm going to say this right. Even right, Moisey, Mr. Yellow Teeth, was going ape on the fucking touchline.
He was.
I didn't give a shit, mate, because I knew that even if that was disallowed, we would have still won the match just by the amount of chances we were creating and how clinical we were with Gresham and Greenwood up front. So I knew we would still win it. That was just like faith. I was telling you the other day, I'm optimistic. I'm still on my hoverboard, mate. Martin McFly.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And I'm sure we can get a draw at the weekend.
Yeah.
But tell me this. You were doing some proper goalkeeping analysis the other day about De Gea's shoddy footwork or positioning for them 2 free kicks.
Yep.
What did you make of Hendo yesterday with that beautiful save, mate?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. His positioning for that free kick is what De Gea should have done for those last 2 free kicks he's conceded. He, if you watch Henderson, he'd set his wall up, and then he took a step to. It was a left-footed free kick, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Well, he ended up jumping to his left.
His left. So he took because what he did was he'd set his wall up, and then he took a step to his right, so he could see the ball better. Whereas De Gea didn't. He stayed in the middle, and would have been off back if De Gea had done what he had done in the last 2 free kicks that he's conceded. Had he been playing yesterday, they would have scored that because he would have been off balance, because he wouldn't have taken that step to the right. I personally don't think he might have done, because that might have been something they're working on in training. However, it seems to be it was in instinct with Hendo. He seemed to have set his wall up and gone, right, okay, I'm going to take a step to my right, so then I can then spring to my left if I need to. Because the wall's doing its job. Do you know what I mean? Because if the player manages to get the ball round the wall, at least Henderson can see the ball rather than being blinded by the right-hand side of the wall. Do you know what I mean? So, like what happened with De Gea, he was blinded by the right-hand side of his wall, and was unable to react because of the speed of the shot. Henderson took it upon himself to actually, basically, he was, if you were to look at it in more depth, you're probably thinking, mate, you've left so much space to your left. But the way he's probably looking at it is, well, at the angle, it's going to be the wall will do its job, because that ball would have to go up and over, and that was quite a big wall, height-wise, I mean. So that ball would have to
Yeah.
be
Oh no,
a
totally.
Ronaldo style to actually get that in the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, I was
Yeah.
well impressed with that. That was excellent keeping.
And also, I just think that he gives us that extra confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he just seems like he's the fucking real deal. And also, look at Sheffield United; they've only got 1 point this
Yeah, I
season.
know, mate. It's
Fucking
distressing.
mental.
Distressing.
So they're really doing really bad. Sorry, no, was it 4 points? They got, beg your pardon.
Oh yeah,
But still,
yeah,
they're in
yeah,
up shit creek without a paddle.
mate.
So
It's going to be a
they're in a
long,
lot of trouble.
long old
And
season.
also, he just looks. He looks like he fits the piece, because don't know what Big Dave's thinking about right now, but bloody hell, mate.
Yeah.
Why have you given yourself a haircut to look like bloody Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, So,
Brilliant.
mate, those are my last words. I don't know if you've got anything else you want to say,
Well,
but I think we've hit the nail on the
I,
head. I don't know if you've got any final words for them plastics or whatever.
well, not directly, but I've got one last thing I just want to add. Now, Tony is causing Ollie a headache, and for the wrong reasons. Do you know what I mean?
Well, but he's got apart from a headache, he's got a groin ache now. So
Yes,
if
yeah,
it's
there is that.
if what footy manager's true,
Yeah,
then he's out for 6 weeks, mate, isn't he? So
this is a
fucking. Do you remember how many of our players on footy manager get a torn
torn
groin?
groin. Yeah,
It's so
it
frustrating.
is, but it's like the boy is not on form, and he's now potentially injured for X amount of weeks, and it's just like really that the whole Cavani factor has really
Oh, vodka brew.
has really thrown him off the scent. And to be fair, Cavani,
Well, Cavani's injured as well now.
yeah, potentially he's got a knock.
Bloody hell, I'm so gassy right now.
He's got a knock, so but then again, he didn't really play brilliantly yesterday. However, there was one piece of play where
Yeah, I know.
in the first half, he right at the start, he lost the ball and he tracked right back to try and chase that ball down. Now, I don't believe Marshall would have done that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have tracked all the way back into his own half to try and win that ball back. He would have just basically sat up the top, thrown his toys out the pram, give that shrug of the shoulders. Do you know what I mean? That he does, as if to say, "Oh, it's so unfair."
Yeah.
Kevin the teenager, you're so unfair.
I mean, I ain't your slave.
Yeah,
No, fucking hell, mate. Thanks, Miss Patterson. Sorry, what was I saying?
Jan Sandwich, mate.
Fucking. No, mate. I was watching the old youth matches as well. So
Yeah,
I'm going to do this really quickly. So basically, congratulations to the under-18s, top of the league, beat the Scousers.
yep,
Fantastic goals. Saw the under-23s as well. Palestri scored a good goal running through by himself. Nice finish. The only thing is, right, I don't think Palestri is physically ready.
right,
He's probably about 5'8".
yeah,
He's not as fast as our turbo strikers.
yeah,
Is he an upgrade on Dan James? Don't think so. Is he an upgrade on Chong? No.
yeah,
Alanga, mate, he's the one to watch out for. It took a good his free kick when he scored the other day hit the wall, but then he went straight for the rebound. Fucking beautiful goal. And he's scored quite a few goals this season, and he's the danger man coming from the wing. So if Tony's injured, I'd say stick Alanga straight up into the first team.
yeah,
Now, there's something crazy right now because, David Pritt, the academy guru who's on Stretford Paddock, basically said that because of the COVID restrictions right now, any of the academy lot that are training with the first team aren't allowed to use the same dressing rooms as the under-23 squad because of the different bubbles they belong to.
okay,
So basically, you've got to sort of be a bit more patient really this season when it comes to promoting youth. It's just until we get everyone vaccinated and stuff,
Yeah.
it's going to be a bit of an extraordinary season. So, anyway, I'd like to see Elanga given a chance. Shoulder short time, mate. He's been playing very well. Scored
Yeah.
a very, very good goal as well. And so that's that. Right. I'm feeling optimistic still. And I'm just going to say, if you're a plastic, jump in the recycling bin and that's it, mate. So, you got any final words?
No, I think you've pretty much said it all, mate. To be honest, I think you know, the toxic fans need to really think about what they're saying, because if this does come good, which at the moment it's looking quite possible that it is going to come good, and very soon we are going to be back up where we belong. They're going to have serious, serious egg on their face, and it's going to be amazing to watch, because they're all going to crawl back under their rock they come from.
Yes, mate.
Now we can give them a big fuck you
Yeah,
and flick them the bird. End of. Done.
that's fair, mate. Right, so what are your closing words?
It's over and out from me, mate.
Over and out. And I'll speak to you later, you chronic masturbators. Don't forget to jump in the yellow container if you're a plastic. Sorry, I fucking can't help myself.